Guys, about 4 to 5 hours ago, a brand new development studio going by Euclidean something came out with a brand new story-focused game I've been led to believe so far. As you can see, Souls-like action RPG going by Nazralev The Fallen World. What seems to be taking quite a bit of inspiration from Dark Souls 3 specifically. Here's hoping it'll somehow deliver eventually, hopefully. Just take a look. This game's set to be coming to PCs only sometime next year.
They ask, what draws me out here? To the middle of nowhere. But hunters know, you're in the middle of everything. A world of opportunity and adventure.
Coming up behind that, we've got a first-person exploration-based shooter, or, well, a hunting game, sort of going by the name Way of the Hunter. This one over here is the first work of a new developer made up by some of the folks who previously worked on games such as DayZ, hence actually all the resemblance over here. The game itself actually is set to be released on PCs in the next generation of consoles only sometime later this year. Check it out.
But you can never underestimate nature's will to survive. Sometimes that's the way it goes, and that's the challenge. Every hunter knows there's always another chance, because no two hunts are ever the same. So prepare. Persist. Trust your raw instincts. And when it all comes together, the perfect spot, the perfect stalk, the perfect shot. There's nothing quite like it. That's the way of the wild.
Guys, a little less than a month ago, Bandai Namco came up with a reveal of a brand new One Piece game going by Odyssey. Actually, what happened to be a turn-based role-playing game set in the same iconic world as the series' manga. For those of you who didn't know, this project's actually been in the making for years, and it is currently planned to release this year, possibly around October, and coming to pretty much every single platform as well. Check it out. This comes our way from no more than 24 hours ago. We have what seems to be a crossover between the upcoming Stalker 2 and the Chernobyl Light, and also at the same time Atomic Heart. Over here going by the name Evil Next Door. A first-person survival game about some deadly virus or some sort of pandemic that turns people into psychopaths, I don't know. Interestingly enough, this game actually supports online play, which is something interesting to be seen. The only downside over here to this project is that at the moment we have no release date at all for the thing, so just keep it in mind for now.
Alright, come on, let's move. Come here, it's not far. Be quiet, almost there. Move fast, it's too many of them.
Coming up at number 5, we have Earth from Another Sun from last year. What was touted to be an open galaxy space exploration role-playing game? Actually a next generation console exclusive and precisely set to be coming out in 2023. Apparently this game is now releasing later this year in its early access phase, and once it does, you will actually be able to play the game in online co-op as well. Check it out.
Commander, we're ready.
We will resist till the end. We will defend our nation. We will fight for the homes of our people. We will engage those who wish us harm. We will battle on solid ground and among the stars. We will confront them on the mountains of Io. We will repel them in the craters of Eris. We will never capitulate. And even if the bulk of this star system were conquered and...
Coming up behind that, we've got Drake's Odds Survive, which is basically an open world alien multiplayer survival game about an alien from another planet who must survive on the planet Earth. This game's timeline set in the 80s, just like the old Destroy All Human games where you could literally do whatever you want with anyone, or, well, to be specific, taking control of your enemies here. Check it out, this game is coming to PCs only and possibly due out later this year. Moving on, we have Marauders, a tactical first-person multiplayer looter shooter. This game actually came out way earlier this year. For those of you who knew, in Marauders, you actually play as a space pirate where you can play solo or in squads of up to 3 other players in online, where you'll get to navigate this battleground, hunt for the loots, craft weapons and gears, and, you know, basically survive. Check it out, this game's set to be coming to PCs in its full sometime next year. Coming up next, we have Pal World, which is a mix of Minecraft and creature collecting games such as Pokemon. Actually, a survival game at its core and an open world game, as you might have also suspected, a multiplayer one. Pal World over here is scheduled to be released this year on PCs via Steam, the announcement of which, for those of you new, came around just a little less than a month ago. Check it out. Moving on, it is Gangster New York, a well-known open-world action-adventure series of games that was first released for the Android and iOS devices like 10 years ago. This one over here is actually the 6th installment in the Gangster series, and in New York, well, just like the Grand Theft Auto, it has elements of driving games, shooters, and also features an open world. Check it out, the game's set to be coming out to PCs and mobile devices as well sometime soon. On the other hand, we have, by the same publishers as some of the greatest games in the making as of this moment, such as the Lord of the Rings Gollum, and now here with a new game called Hell Is Us. What looks to be a third-person action-adventure game built using Unreal Engine 5. This one over here is actually its debut trailer. This game's set to be coming to PCs and the next generation of consoles only sometime next year. Last Expedition, on the other hand, is what's described by its developers to be the world's first play-to-earn first-person shooter. This game is set to pit you against a hostile alien world where you'll need some intense focus and skills to deal with different situations. Just go and check this out. This game's set to be coming to PCs only sometime later this year.
Is a loaded gun.
Go ahead, make my day.
Then we have XA Killer, which is an action, retro-futuristic Wild West sort of adventure. I'm not really sure what the title really suggests. I do know this game is coming to PCs, and at the moment it doesn't have a release date. There's a Steam page where you can actually wishlist this game, in addition to the words that we'll actually hear more about XA Killer over here later this year. In any case, this game was announced just a few months ago, and this is what they came up with.
Target Johnny the Wireman wanted alive, picked up. Last seen somewhere in Jacobstown area. Hunting is a hell of a business.
Who are you?
Now, this is, well, almost 6 years since Dragon Quest's latest game, Dragon Quest XI, but yes, we finally received confirmation that the next Dragon Quest game, Flames of Fate, is now on its way to the Nintendo Switch and other consoles as well, in addition to PCs, and it'll be the first game in the series to use Unreal Engine 5, just like the new Witcher game in the making. The gameplay of which we also suspect to be very different from before. With that said, a release date, however, or a window for this game is still yet to be announced. Crowz is in fact one of the most talked about multiplayer IPs or projects, if I may, from this company called Royal Crow, which is kind of new. And for those of you new, it's a squad-based first-person shooter, which is actually sitting on Steam through its early access phase with just nothing but bad to mixed reviews, if I say. Considering that though the game is actually free, it does come with a couple of different modes and sit in an open world. It is not that terrible of a game, it definitely needs some work, but the finished product over here for this game is set to be coming our way soon, so just keep it in mind. On the other hand, we have Breakwaters. Now, Breakwaters over here is kind of sort of mix of Valheim and the Sea of Thieves. Actually, there's quite a bit of people that think that way, not just me. See, this game is actually also sitting on Steam now in its early access phase for about $20. Honestly, it's actually got probably one of the most realistic water physics out of any other game, if we're being specific. Actually, quite a bit rough around the edges. The game is kind of horrible and still needs plenty of work, but just in case you were wondering, it is rumored to be coming out fully, I mean in its full as a finished product, in the next few months, so just keep that in mind. Coming up behind that, we have Delicium, what is described by its creators to be the world's first playable AAA blockchain open world game. One that comes in with a superior AI power, or so they say. Not much to say over here, except I'm not really sure about the whole thing quite yet, or if it'll eventually deliver, but nonetheless, Delicium is said to be coming to PCs only and due out in the next few months. Check it out.
of a girl. I was her loudest scream, her most painful moment.
About 3 to 4 months ago, some of y'all might still remember, there was this Steam Game Fest that kicked off quite a bit of good news on the gaming scene. Now, around the same time, we finally came across a project that garnered a lot of hype when it was revealed, going by Blacktail, an action-adventure project based on the Slavic legend of the Baba Yaga, which is some sort of a witch in Slavic, I guess. Just here's what it is, for those of you new. This game is coming to all consoles and PCs and set to be coming out later this year.
Again, and again, and again, and again.
Okay, now, Project Kato, on the other hand, is maybe actually one of the good Cyberpunk game projects that's been in the making for a while now. This is an open-world action role-playing game where the player takes the role of a cyborg sort of ninja called Kato. The thing about Project Kato is actually this game is a long time coming. You can still, however, go ahead and still support the developers of which through the fundraising campaigns and just hope, I would say, for a 2023 release. Maybe, if all goes according to the plan as well. Check it out.
It's all about here. And now. Right around the corner. Or under your nose.
Nobody, the turnaround was... Okay, for those of you who somehow actually missed out on this one, I would say probably one of the biggest games of the Steam Next Fest from earlier February this year, and it even somehow managed to stay on the top of the hype list until this day. See, this game is basically a survival life simulation in which you're playing the role of a regular type dude, basically trying to escape the everyday, boring, sort of life death trap, if you know what I mean. Check it out, this game's on its way to PCs only and due out later this year.
In so many perspectives. We are the nobodies, and we are equal.
And last but not least, we have, once again, just a quick shout out to Corsair's Legacy, which is described by its developers to be a pirate life-focused open-world role-playing game in which you'll basically get to experience some sea battles, this island's exploration, tons of adventures, and a randomly generated encounter system. Check it out, this game is coming to PCs on Steam very soon, apparently, possibly in the following month even.